Afternoon. My name is Greg Hudson. I'm the president and CEO of the Dallas Zoo. We wanted to give an update on an animal death we reported over the weekend. On Saturday morning, our animal care team discovered one of our lappet-faced vultures dead in its habitat. As is our normal procedure, our vet team conducted a gross necropsy, our version of an animal autopsy, on the bird to try and determine the cause of death. What we found was deemed to be very suspicious, which pointed to this not being a natural death. So, given the recent events that have happened here at the zoo, the clouded leopard in particular from last Friday, and the suspicious nature of this animal's death, we alerted DPD. The DPD team was here on Saturday to examine the bird and its habitat and the surrounding areas. DPD will give us an update here in just a second about what they found and what they're able to share. But I wanted to take just a minute and talk about the safety and security of our animals, our staff, our campus, and the surrounding areas near the zoo. In the past 10 days since the clouded leopard event, there were a couple things that I wanted to acknowledge. We've received a tremendous amount of support from the City of Dallas Police Department, from the City of Dallas Park and Recreation Department, and from Mayor Pro Tem Carolyn Arnold, who is here today to support and to help us get any kind of resources we can to try and solve this case. Before the incident happened, as our normal operating procedures, we have over 100 plus cameras on zoo grounds monitoring public, staff, and exhibit areas. But since then, we have substantially increased our camera coverage, including portable solar tower units that the DPD has loaned us to help during this crisis, and have significantly increased the range on our 110-acre campus. We have also more than doubled our security presence on grounds overnight, and have increased our staff presence during the overnight hours as well. We've also limited, where it was feasible, access for some of the animals and their ability to go outdoors during the overnight hours. We're going to continue to expand and implement whatever it takes for the safety and security measures of the animals, the staff, and the people that live near the zoo. We appreciate DPD's assistance and attention to this incident as we all work to find answers. We're beginning to cast a very wide net and bringing in additional resources. And Kristen Lohman, who's with DPD, will give you an update on that in just a second. But we're asking for the public's help to share anything that might be relevant with us that might help us with this case and these issues. We are offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to arrest and indictment. How to get that information to us, Kristen will go over that here in just a second. So I'd like to have Kristen come up, turn the mic over to her, and let her go over DPD and those contact info. Kristen.
Hi, everyone. As I said, my name is Kristen Lauman. I'm the spokesperson for DPD. On Saturday, we were called here. We had patrol units that responded, along with detectives from South Central Division, along with our animal cruelty unit. They walked the scene. Over the weekend, they have been conducting interviews, not only with zoo staff, but also going over and gathering any sort of video surveillance that they may have here at the zoo. In addition, we contacted U.S. Fish and Wildlife. They are now assisting us in this investigation, just due to the type of bird that it is. They also have additional resources that they have that both the zoo and DPD just will assist us in the investigation. We are asking, as he said, with the reward, anyone with information is being asked to call our animal cruelty unit. That's going to be 214-670-7694. Again, it's 214-670-7694. Anyone that has any information on any of the cases is asked to call Dallas Police.
Good afternoon. My name is Harrison Adele. I'm the zoo's Executive Vice President for Animal Care and Conservation, and I wanted to share a little bit more about the bird specifically. Deaths are always difficult, given how close our animal care teams are with the animals. but this one is particularly challenging for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, this is an endangered species, which makes him all the more important to long-term sustainability of the vulture population. And we're also really disturbed by the idea that someone might have intentionally done this. Pin was a male lappet-faced vulture. He was at least 35 years old, but may have been older. He lived here at Dallas Zoo for 33 years, and a lot of our teams had worked closely with him for all of that time. Pin was one of 4 lappet-faced vultures here at Dallas Zoo. 3 birds remain here at Dallas. And Pin was a beloved member of the bird department. A lot of people knew him very well, having worked with him for so long. He sired 11 offspring here at Dallas Zoo, and those kids have gone on to live at the Albuquerque Biopark, Zoo Atlanta, Jacksonville Zoo, Cincinnati Zoo, and one of his offspring still is here at Dallas. Pin's first grandkid hatched in early 2020. She now lives at Maryland Zoo in Baltimore. A little bit about the species themselves, since they sometimes are overlooked. Vultures are often known as nature's cleanup crew. They play a critical role in consuming dead animals and ridding the natural world of potentially deadly diseases. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, lappet-faced vultures are considered endangered, but there's a really good chance that they move to critically endangered in the future. More importantly, this is a species that could potentially go extinct in our lifetime. There are only about 6,500 individuals of this species left on Earth, and the population is rapidly declining in the wild. With only 27 individual lappet-faced vultures in U.S. zoos and only 41 in zoos outside of the U.S. and Europe and Middle East, every individual matters. As I mentioned, this is a species that's incredibly important to us here at Dallas Zoo. We are involved in managing the Association of Zoos and Aquariums Species Survival Plan for lappet-faced vultures, which is hosted here at Dallas Zoo and helps to sustain the population in AZA-accredited institutions. I think we're glad to take a few questions. I'll welcome Greg back to answer some of those questions for you, and we'll stay around for a few minutes.
Sorry, at this point, are you guys thinking this would be an inside job, either a federal attorney or former employee?
Everything is under suspect at this point. Internal, external, we're looking at every single option. Obviously, we can't go into much detail about that because it is an ongoing investigation, but everything is being looked at.
Can you expand on the condition of the bird? You said that it was evident that there were unnatural causes. Could you expand into what specifically that was or what condition it was?
Because of the ongoing investigation, we're really not at liberty to talk about the specifics of that at this point.
Whatever the case may be with this suspect or suspects, what can you tell us about the fact that they're clearly going after the zoo and very vulnerable parts of it?
Yeah,
It can't defend itself.
for me personally, the event of Saturday, if it's related to anything that happened with cloud leopard before, definitely have crossed some sort of barrier that goes from being about malicious and it gets into really criminal intent that is dangerous, and we're extremely concerned about it. That's why we've called in all the resources that we can, and we're going to pull out anything that we can do to be able to solve this and to nip it in the bud as quickly as possible.
Are you worried about the rest of your...
Yeah, obviously, and we've begun to in the evenings be limiting what animals are being out overnight. We've increased all our coverages at night. These cameras specifically have night vision on them, specifically to help us spread that coverage. So, but everything is being looked at.
Can you give us some basics, sir? Like, okay, Saturday, was it morning, was it night? When did y'all find out?
This was Saturday morning when the team got here. Approximately, it could have happened anytime from Friday evening to Saturday morning, but our team discovered the animal in its habitat roughly between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning.
Inside the habitat?
In the habitat.
What kind of condition?
It was deceased.
It was already dead. I'm sorry, are y'all saying that this appears to be poisoning? Or are y'all saying anything about how it...
Yeah, we can't go into the details of that at this point because it is an ongoing investigation, but it was a wound.
I'm sorry?
A wound.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking like a stab wound?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to comment on that.
But it's a wound.
Yes.
Yes and yes.
How confident are you guys that this one is connected to the two fence cuttings today?
We're assuming everything at this point, and that's why we brought Dallas Police in.
So right now what investigators are doing is, obviously there's the two incidents that had happened earlier along with this one. Part of the ongoing investigation is to see if they are related or they're not related at this time.
What are we looking at this point? Is it vandalism? Is it cruelty? What are we
Animal,
going after?
animal cruelty, they're the lead on the vulture, and our South Central Division, the detectives are working the two cases with the fencing.
Had the vulture enclosure been opened in some way like the other enclosures have? Was there any opening in the enclosure where someone may have?
Now they would have to go through our barriers,
So that was not tampered with.
not that we saw.
Have you ever experienced anything like this chain of events in your career? Or
No,
earlier?
I've been in the zoo profession over 30 plus years. I've never had an animal like a situation like what happened on Saturday, and frankly Friday before last. So no, it's totally unprecedented and very, very disturbing.
When was the last time that y'all saw this particular pin, the vulture? When was he last seen, if you will?
Yeah, it was Friday afternoon.
Nothing was was he shot? Was he shot?
No, we can't comment on anything like that. Okay, any other questions? I know you guys want to go and take some pictures up at the exhibit.
Have y'all checked every single enclosure to make sure that?
I'm having a hard time hearing what you're saying.
Have y'all checked every enclosure to ensure that the?
That's part of our daily routine of checking enclosures for any compromises that might happen in it. We do that every day with all exhibits.
Anything else?
Okay, thank you guys. Oh, did you want to say something?
Just quickly, thank you all for being here. You know, the zoo continues to be one of the jewels of our city. And with it being the location of where it is, of course, it's here in the South Central District, and we thank DPD for all their work. Also, the concern that we have, and definitely as a representative of this district, is that we want to make sure that the community understands that we're going to lend as much support as we can to the zoo to make safety as number one. The zoo back up to some neighborhoods and residents who are concerned. And so we want to reassure them that we're taking all steps to support the zoo, and we're encouraging all individuals as they come to the zoo, watch, look, and report. If you see something, say something. But even more so, I think it's just the public safety initiative that we continue to support and will continue to strengthen here in this city as we continue to support the zoo and the status that it has in our city. And thank staff. And once again, we do, it's hard for folks to understand just what the loss means when folks work day to day with the residents, as I call them, the residents here, the animal family. But this is a very, very serious concern that we have, so that we will not see a repetition. And that's why I'm stressing the public safety piece. Thank you.
Thank you guys.